Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's the big day. We're gonna paint this car, or paint the engine bay of this car. So right now we're going to right here, make it right here, or go to Wendy's. Just do it at Wendy's. Alright. So right now we're picking up the paint supplies, and I ordered two different types of paint because I decided to change what I'm gonna do, and it's for the better. There was a comment. I'll put it up on the screen here, and I agree with what he's saying. So we're gonna go that route with it. All right. So we're picking up this paint at. That's where we get all our paint stuff. Albert Camperle. All right. We came out with spending a total of 227, and this is what we got here. So we got some reducer on the left, some base coat Granada Black for the GSR engine bay, and then we got single stage for the fenders, the front bumper, and if I find a metal hood, it'll be for the hood. Cat's out of the bag. We're gonna paint the engine bay with dual stage paint because it's the right thing to do, and it's what I would like to do. So we're gonna go with that. Now, let's get to the garage and start sanding so we can paint today. Okay, we're here. We're at the garage with the car, and there's one thing I forgot. I didn't bring the freaking ladder because I have to tape all that stuff, cover all that stuff. There's cousin Andy's freaking dashboard is there, and there's a bunch of like more important stuff in here. Brother Curvis painted in here, left that door open when I had a car here, and that car still has overspray on it. So although there's no car there, there's a lot of parts and expensive stuff in there. So we're gonna sand, and then we're going to have to basically clean up. All this table stuff has to go, which sucks because I could have mixed there, but we have an actual table we could clean up and mix there. So we have to clean up this door and hang it back up to stop anything in there from getting overspray. And these wheels, whatever is important here that shouldn't get overspray, like like hubcaps and that stuff, doesn't really matter. That fender doesn't technically matter, but we could put it in there anyways. The dashboard, we're probably just gonna move it over there because one, it's not in a safe spot there, and two, it's not worth getting overspray on because in Andy's engine, that'll be covered. The toolboxes, all the stuff over there. We have a lot of stuff to do. I'm on a super tight time crunch, and in order to get everything done, we need to get things rolling. So there she is, as smooth as it'll be. Nice and smooth everywhere. This area down here where we first sprayed with a can and it wasn't ready, we were able to smoothen that out. Everything is smoothened out. Top, nice and smooth. I'm about to remove the sticker right now and probably just clean off. The front here is cleaned up and sanded down. Under there, that's probably where I'll do my line. I was gonna cut this down, but I'm gonna let it be. I think it is what it is. I'm not trying to hide anything. I would like it to be close to OEM, but that's gonna delay us way more than it should. So we're gonna leave that alone. And we gotta clean up everything here, everything there, and then start masking. I really would like to paint today. It is getting up there. It's 80 degrees already. In here is only probably 75. So we have the AC running. So I would like to quickly clean up, put whatever I gotta put up, tarp the car, and paint before it gets too hot because it's gonna be a hot one today. We have an excessive heat warning, and we just had a tornado 2 days ago. So whatever the hell's going on, we gotta work with it. So let's get that done. A lot has happened since we were last recording. So covered the car and covered most of this stuff. This stuff really doesn't matter on this side here. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my ladder, so I can't say that. We got rid of the table here and the door. Put the door where it belongs. So all the stuff on that side would be safe. There's a little bit of a crack, top of the window there, but top of the door there, but shouldn't do anything to it. Remove this, scuffed it, cleaned it up, and that's it. We just had to run out to Harbor Freight and pick up, look, I picked this up this morning, but this is another one I need. So let's go outside and get the one that I need. This is the refills because we bought 2 of the starter kits already with the measuring cup, but we let our cousin borrow one of them, so that one's being occupied, and then the other one we lost inside the garage somehow. So I just quickly had to run out and buy another starter kit. So now that we have it, we can start painting, and I'm way behind schedule. But it's gonna be nice. Actually, now that I've remembered, I have to go up there and get 2 fans to open the door up and pull the air out, because if not, we're gonna have overspray just lingering. It's gonna damage the finish on that, and it's gonna get overspray on everything anyways. Let me do that real quick. 1 second. Covered Cousin Andy's engine because we don't want those type of problems. And got the 2 fans running. Should probably get a third. We haven't painted since a year and a half ago when I painted the other Integra, the red RS. So now we could paint. So this is the stuff that we need to be able to do the quick, what do they call it? I don't know. It just makes it quicker to change paint because these are replaceable cartridges. You just pop one in, fill it up, paint, and pop it out, throw it away. You can do it again. Here's the paint we got. We got Luma base, Granada black as the base coat, and then we have the reducer right here. Tells us it's a 2-to-1 mix ratio. So 2 parts base, 1 part reducer. So there's only a pint because this is all we should need for the engine bay. So we got to be kind of smart with how we do this. So let's open it. Let's find it here. It's 2-to-1 right here. Whew. This thing looks nice. Look at the metallics in there. Look at those metallics. And there's not much light here, but can you guys see that? I don't know, you guys can see that, but not, but there's a ton of metallics. This is exciting. Oh, might have overdid it there. Okay. Let's put the lid on the paint. We'll make a mess. Now we take this lid, put it in the cup. It's in. Now you put the lid on there right there like that. Shake it up, make sure it's not leaking. Alright. Open it slowly so it doesn't do that. Alright, that looks good. So now let me do what I can. That's the only place in the whole engine bay that we got a reaction. See? So it looks good. These metallics are really gonna pop once we put the clear on it. I should have tried more spray setting up the gun before I actually started shooting, and unfortunately I didn't. So specifically right here on the firewall, I was spraying there, and I was getting like tiger tread because it was just spraying like very small. Like a circle like this, So I was getting tiger stripes, so I had to stop and mess with that a little bit. So I only bought a pint for the whole engine bay for two reasons. One, it's expensive, and two, I don't need extra paint. So I wanted to get enough paint, that as much paint as I really needed. So that's what we did. And unfortunately, because we did that, and then I kind of wasted a lot of paint spraying up here, we ran out of paint. So we got good coverage here, but there are some other areas that I wish we would have had a little bit more paint to touch up. Like if you can see up here, that didn't get touched up, but that gets covered with the cowl, not a big deal. And then right here as well, I didn't get to clean this up, but that'll be undercoated, so that's not a big deal. And then if you can see right here, let's go in closer. Right here, that didn't get enough coverage. Where else? That's pretty much it. What about this one too, I guess? But we'll just undercoat that and cover it. But we'll undercoat the whole wheel well, so it's a fresh coat there. And then we're also gonna we're also gonna paint this area here with undercoating. It'll all look good once it's all said and done, but unfortunately, we kind of ran through some things. And now that I look at it, we do also have a reaction right there. So we had two reactions on either frame rail. That one is going to be the most noticeable, most likely, but possibly not, because if it falls, it may fall where the belt and the power steering pump goes. In this car, I believe we have power steering pump for it, so we're going to put power steering back in it. So it'll cover that imperfection up. Not the ideal way you want this to go, but you know, when life gives you lemons, you do what you can with what you got. So now I cleaned the gun off camera. It's right here. It's clean. And I threw away the cups, which means I've let this sit here for maybe like 10-ish minutes. It's about 4 to 8, I think it's 4 minutes in between coats. So by the time I set up the clear and get started, it'll be ready to lay down. So I'm gonna give it another like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll start prepping the clear. So that way we can spray it and have a freaking painted bay. Let's just, I guess I got somewhere to be right now. So like my mind is not really right here, but it looks way better. It looks way better. So, and then once we put clear on this thing, it's gonna have a mirror finish. So it's gonna look even better. We are gonna let it sit overnight before we come back and unmask everything. And it's gonna look good. I'm excited for that. Very excited for that. But let's mix up the clear coat and start laying down some clear. That should be more than enough clear. Honestly, I think that's already too much. So let's go just 2. So let's just go 2 to 1. Yeah, let's go 2 to 1. That should be enough clear. Let's go 4. Let's go 3. That's a lot of clear. Not amazing, and I just realized I have a dry spot now, which is kind of bothering me. But I use all the clear up. I'm not gonna mix more. It is what it is. But here's the dry spot right here. It's hard to tell, but right there, yep, you see it right there. All those little particle-looking things. Yes, dry. See it right there? You can see it better from this angle right there. But look at that. Clear still wet. It just literally finished it, but like this thing really makes. Look at that. You see that? That's all metallics in this Granada black. Freaking amazing. Even this seam sealer looks kind of OEM-ish. You just put paint on seam sealer, it looks amazing. Anyways, look at this. Look how great this came out. Woo! Like glass, baby, like glass. I'm excited. Woo! Wow, that came out. This right here came out amazing. I'm super impressed. I don't want to spit on it, but like, I'm very happy how this came out, and I'm glad I went with the dual stage versus the single stage on the engine bay. And now like later on down the road, I want to paint the whole car again. I could just paint it the right color versus like having to worry about the engine bay not matching the car. So this is a good alternative. Everything there looks good. I did a second coat on the frame, on the firewall, just to make sure it popped a little bit. Yeah, the strut tile would hit again. Oh my goodness. You would never know. You would have never known. Oh my. Ooh, such a nice color. Beautiful color. So all this is painted. I did like kind of do like a little coat on the outside here, just because I did put base coat and I don't want to start chipping and affect the rest. A little bit here. Look at that. Woo. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Make sure I got this in here. I didn't do a second pass on that side. Let's go see what that looks like. But all this was hit. Look at that. Even the top of the bottom of the radiator support has great pearls. Wow, this paint really, nice job. Nice paint coat. Has like a bronze tint to it. I see this is all dry here. It's all right because the battery, the fuse box basically covers all this. So again, it's just good that that's covered up and not something else. I'm not making excuses for it. I'm not a professional DIYer, as you can tell by the setup. 26-gallon compressor, Harbor Freight spray gun, and just a home garage. So the car's officially painted, which means we're gonna have to let it sit for about a day or two, and then we could worry about reassembly. So for now, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to check our socials for our burnout challenge, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.